Welcome to a special edition of Jules Voto's Photo Focus. In this video, I'm going to be unboxing Nikon's new 50mm 1.4 Z-mount lens. And I'm also going to be giving you my first impressions of this lens. This is not a review. I will be doing that down the road a little bit, but I just wanted to do a little something on this lens. Now, a 50mm 1.4 has been part of my Nikon collection since the very beginning. The very first Nikon lens I ever bought, along with my Nicormat FTN in 1972, was the 50mm 1.4 pre-AI. Of course, that was a manual focus lens, and I recently did a video on that lens, and I will put a link in the description below to that video. Now, when Nikon first introduced the Z cameras back in 2018, there was a 50mm 1.8, and it's got very good reviews. It's considered an excellent lens. And I didn't buy that lens. I have some zooms. I have a 40mm f2, and I was hoping they would come out with a 50 1.4. Now, I would have bought the 50 1.2, however, that lens is very expensive, and I wouldn't be using it all that much to justify that cost. So when I heard about this 50 1.4, I placed a pre-order for this lens through B&H on September 13th, and also went on the Nikon Professional Services website and put in a request for expedited delivery. And I received a notification from Nikon a few days ago that the lens was being shipped to B&H, and I received it on September 30th. I'm doing this video on October 1st. I didn't get around to it yesterday. The lens came, was delivered by FedEx, and I had to go out. So I'm just getting to this now on October 1st. So let's take a look. It's a very large box. B&H usually doesn't ship in such a large box for a fairly small lens. Now, this lens costs less actually than the 50mm 1.8. This lens sells at B&H for $496.95, and the 50 1.8 is $626.95, but currently it is on sale. I think it's like around $530. So there's a lot of packing in here, and there's bubble wrap on the box. So let's get this tape off. All right, and here it is, the 50mm 1.4 Z mount. Now, I'll be primarily using this lens on my Z8, but the Z8 is filming me right now, so we're going to mount it to the Z6. So it comes with a little instruction manual and warranty. Now, this lens weighs 14.9 ounces or 422 grams, has 10 elements in 7 groups. This is the shade. It's a bayonet shade, a petal type shade, all plastic. Now let's get to the lens. Okay, there we go. It's packed in here very well. There's bubble wrap around the lens. And let's put this box off to the side. No pouch. Nikon has been delivering they no longer provide cases with their lenses. They usually come in a little, actually it's just a wrap, it's not even a pouch, but no such thing with this. So it looks to be nicely made. it has a rubberized focus ring, and I was hoping it would, because I have the 85mm 1.8, and that focus ring is, I guess it's metal, but it's cold to the touch, and it's a little difficult to mount this lens. You can't really grip it by the focus ring. You have to grip it at the back. But this lens has a nice rubberized focus ring. It also has a programmable or a customizable ring at the back. Okay. And it takes 62mm filters. And let's mount it to the Z6. All right, you know what? Let's put this shade on first. Okay, clicks in nicely. There are no, other than the customizable ring, there's no switches on this lens. Now the 85-1.8 has an auto manual switch. So on this lens, if you want to switch it to manual focus, you're going to have to do that on the camera body. It is weather sealed, according to Nikon. It does have the little rubber gasket around the mount. Okay, and it feels good on the Z6. Seems to focus pretty quick, but I'll get into testing that at a later date. So it also has a 9-blade aperture. It focuses down to 14.5 inches or 37.19 centimeters. So this lens actually focuses a little closer than the 50mm 1.8. Now the 51.8 is an S-mount lens. Let me give you some of the specs on that. It focuses down to 15.7 inches, so it's a matter of an inch difference, 40 centimeters. It also takes 62mm filters. Both lenses focus down to both lenses stop down to f/16. The 51.8 has 12 elements in 9 groups, and like I said, this has 10 elements in 7 groups. And that one weighs 14.64 ounces or 415 grams. And again, this one is 14.9 ounces or 422 grams. So they're very close in weight. Now, the 51.8 does not have this separate customizable ring. It just has the focus ring, which can be customized to do things like exposure compensation, f-stop, and ISO. I also have the 40mm f2, which is very small, very light, takes 52mm filters, and only weighs 6 ounces or 170 grams, actually has a plastic mount, whereas this lens has a metal lens mount. But I haven't had any issues with the 40, so why would I buy a 51.4? Well, I always wanted an autofocus 51.4 for my Z-mount cameras, and was very happy to see that Nikon finally introduced one. I bought the 40 f2 one because it was very inexpensive. I got it from Nikon directly as a refurbished, and it was a little over $200. So I really couldn't pass that up, and it's a decent lens. I also did a report on that lens, and I'll put a link in the description below to that. And what I will be doing is comparing the 40 with this, and also some of the older 51.4s at some point. But in the near future, I'll be doing a review of this lens, probably within a week or two. So it feels nice. I love this focus ring, that it's rubberized. Even the 40 f2 has a rubberized focus ring. So I don't know why they didn't do that with the 85 1.8. And I believe, I haven't shot with the 50 1.8, but I believe it has a similar focus ring to the 85 1.8. One other thing, this lens of course is multi-coated. It has Nikon's super integrated coating. whereas the 51.8 has nano crystal coating, the latest in Nikon's coatings, supposed to be better for shooting into a light source, the sun, or in a heavily backlit situation. So we will see how this lens performs in a situation like that. But it feels great on the camera. It seems to be nicely made. None of these lenses, I would say, seem to be as well made as the original manual focus Nikkor lenses. They were all metal construction. They just felt solid. Now, I have been shooting with Nikon Z mount lenses now since early 2019. I have not had an issue with any of them. They are nicely made. It's just that they don't look or feel as well made as those old metal lenses. However, these lenses are weather sealed, most of them, and those old lenses were not. So if I'm shooting in the rain with those old ones, I make sure I cover them with plastic. With these lenses, with the 24 to 72.8, the 70 to 200, and others, I have shot them in the snow, in pouring rain, with no issues at all. So given the choice, I would definitely take these new modern lenses, and they are all very sharp. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions about this unboxing and my first impressions of this lens, please let me know. Leave your comment in the comments below. I try to respond to all questions and comments, and I especially like to hear from you if you have this lens or if you intend to buy this lens. So again, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you next time.